At 3:17 a.m., I heard my own voice calling me from the forest. People say you should trust your instincts, that fear is the oldest warning system we have. I didn't listen to mine, and now I don't sleep with the lights off anymore. It started 3 years ago in late October. I had just moved back to my hometown after spending almost a decade in the city. My father had died suddenly, and the house he left me stood empty at the edge of the village, right where the forest began. Not near the forest, inside it. The locals always called it a village, but in truth it was barely a cluster of houses stretched along one cracked road. Most people had left years ago. No jobs, no future, just old men, barking dogs, and silence. And the forest. It wrapped around the place like a dark tide, pressing in from all sides. Tall trees, too close together, the kind of forest where sunlight dies before it reaches the ground. I remembered it from childhood, but memory softens things. Reality does not. The first night I spent there, I woke up at exactly 3:17 a.m. I didn't know the time until I checked my phone later, but I remember the reason I woke. Someone was walking outside. Slow footsteps, careful ones, leaves crunching under boots. At first, I thought it was an animal. Deer came close to the house all the time, but animals don't walk with rhythm. They don't pause, then continue, then pause again, as if listening. I lay there, holding my breath, staring at the ceiling. Then I heard it, a voice, quiet, hoarse, close enough to be real. Hello? It came from just beyond the tree line, maybe 20 meters from the house. A man's voice. I told myself it was a drunk villager, someone lost, someone confused, but deep down, something felt wrong. The voice didn't echo, and it didn't sound cold, even though it was freezing outside. It sounded dry, like it hadn't spoken in a very long time. I didn't answer. The footsteps circled the house once, slowly, then they stopped. I waited. My heart hammered so loudly I was sure whoever it was could hear it. Minutes passed. Then, from the opposite side of the house, the voice spoke again. "This isn't funny." Same voice, same tone, but now it sounded closer, too close, right outside my bedroom window. I stayed frozen until morning. When daylight came, I walked the property. No footprints, no broken branches, nothing, just forest and silence. The second night, I locked every door. At 3:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. No signal out there, no Wi-Fi, yet I had a notification. Unknown contact. Why didn't you answer me? My blood turned cold. Before I could react, another message appeared. I know you heard me. I didn't reply. I turned the phone face down and shoved it under my pillow like a child hiding from monsters. That was my first mistake. The next morning, I drove to the nearest town and asked around. Old men avoided my eyes when I mentioned the forest. One woman crossed herself and whispered, "Don't talk to it." I laughed nervously and asked what she meant. She leaned closer and said, "Sometimes the forest borrows voices." Then she walked away. The third night, the voice didn't come from outside. It came from inside the house. I was brushing my teeth when I heard it behind me, reflected in the mirror. "Why are you ignoring me?" I turned so fast I nearly slipped. The bathroom was empty, but the air felt heavier, thicker, like something had just left the room. From that night on, things escalated. The voice began copying people I knew, my father, my childhood friend, even my own voice. It always spoke from places where no one could be, behind walls, from the woods, from the attic I never used, and always at 3:17 a.m. One night, the voice spoke differently. It sounded tired. "Please," it said from the forest, "I just want to come inside." That was when I realized something horrifying. It had never crossed the threshold. I started researching old records, local legends, anything. I found a reference buried in a forgotten forum post, a single sentence written by someone who later deleted their account. If it learns your voice, it doesn't need the door. That night, I packed my car. I was leaving. At 3:16 a.m., the voice screamed my name, not from outside, from my own mouth. I felt my jaw move against my will. My throat burned as words forced themselves out. Hello. I slammed my hands over my mouth and bit down until I tasted blood. The voice laughed, not mockingly, relieved. I don't remember how I got out. I woke up in my car, engine running, parked miles away on the main road. The house burned down 2 days later. Electrical fire, they said. The forest remains. Sometimes, when my phone buzzes at night, I see a notification from an unknown contact. It never sends messages anymore. It just calls and waits.